Hello to all crypto traders and investors, and welcome to another yet anticipated, well anticipated, I hope, Elliott waves on cryptos. In today's analysis, weekly analysis, we're going to have a quick look as always on BTC. I have started again, by the way, the YouTube community section vote, and for that reason, we are going to also analyze XRP. However, we're going to have a look at three different assets today because the Quora Inner Cycle team also has voted and they are vocal about Luna once again. So three different assets for this particular weekly video. And of course, it's all going to be very interesting with different scenarios in play and with probabilities increasing and decreasing in certain scenarios, and all, of course, educational, not financial advice. You should always do your own research anyway. Now, in case you do want to receive more of those videos on a daily basis, I do provide also some analysis, several videos actually on a daily basis on my Telegram channel. In case you are interested, do send me a message and I will sort out a trial for you so you can test drive on what's really happening in the in my Telegram group. So without further ado, guys, let's go and get started with BTC. It has been an interesting rally so far, and has been a bit stuck, whereas Ethereum on the other side has done a fresh all-time high, which suggests, but has not really confirmed yet, that the alt season is going to begin. And I will explain why, simply because usually an all-time high coming in and turning into false break straight away, it really indicates that, well, there is two scenarios. One is that it was really a false break and we're going to correct or reverse, or in the other case, it was false all in temporarily, when I get a pullback, perhaps back within the previous territories and break out again. But for now, it's not confirmed, unfortunately, or fortunately for some people, because they didn't get in on time. For some others, fortunate because they have actually got it in much lower. Now, let's go to the video. I'm going to start with BTC, and then we're going to jump quickly on Luna, and we're going to leave XRP to the end. Okay. So this time, guys, I would like to start with the long-term BTC count once again, because a lot of you were complaining that I don't have the charts looking all the data back. So here you go. I don't need to have it. I need to know the data, okay? And I'm going to show you here quickly. I have the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin, including the weekly, including the volumes. So I want to tell you why I have this label over here, and it's all purely, okay, for me at least, and you can say it's something that it can be in interpretation. Fine, I'm happy with you thinking whatever. But when volumes are combined, or Elliott waves are combined with volumes, then you get more edge, okay? Because the waves, they come and go with momentum, okay, and impulsive and corrective. So combined with volumes is what really tells you what's happening. So why do I have as first cycle wave my the 13th high? Because I'm looking at this and it looks like volumes are increasing and decreasing over here. So to me, guys, this increasing volumes over here, indicates it's an internal three wave, 1 and 2, okay, then increase over here as well. You see all these green candles and the increase over here. That is the 3, that is the 4, that is the 5. An increase on 5, less than 3, obviously. This is the highest candle in here, so it's a 3 wave. This is the second highest, which is the 5th wave, because we get resistance. This is how it works usually. Usually we get the first wave, increase in volumes. During the correction, we have decrease in volumes. During the impulse, we have very big increase in volumes. During the fourth wave, we'll have some increase, but much better than 2, something like this, because we need more support at this stage. And then we'll get the 5th wave, and the volumes should always look like this. So if you take this as a pattern, this is the wave 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 for volumes, okay? Ideally. So this is what I'm looking here, and what I'm looking at it is simple. And I have been actually vocal with this pattern and with this labeling for a long time now. This is my wave 2, and we get a lot of resistance, a lot of support over here because we are shooting for a parabolic move. Okay, at least this is my interpretation. So over here now, what do we do see, and why do I have this as a third one, is because we get the highest volumes. Look at this, a lot of them, and coming in successively. Okay, increase, decrease in correction, increase, and then decrease in a wave that is definitely not a 3, then increase over here, you see, increase. This is this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to me, yeah, because 3 is here. Then you get 1, 2, you get 1, 2, yeah, 3, 4, and 5. And then correction, obviously down in 4. We get these volumes that they are showing there is some sort of support, and then we start with the lesser volumes because we're in wave 5. Okay, now there is those who say that this is an impulsive move to the upside, parabolic, and it might be in wave 3. Well, I want you to compare the volumes in this wave and compare the volumes in this wave, and tell me if you see any similarities. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, now we're gonna go closer over here. Don't worry about it yet, but for now, look at this. Base channel from 2 to 4. Okay, can go up to 3, or we can go, if we want, down to 1, which pretty much is the same level. You see that? Very nice base channel, supposed to be. With that done, and having that way done up here, really at the median line of this base channel, you do know well my count is that we are 1 and 2. Again, I'm looking at the volumes here, guys. 3, 4, and 5. Or we end it. I'm going to show the different scenarios. Okay. Let's go. This is primary, right? So let's use our colors here. This is one of the scenarios, and again we're going to go and connect my base channel 2 and 4, the potential for down here, and we can go up to 3, or if we want we can go down to 1. For now 3 works, and I want you to see that we are indeed still trading to the upside, obviously. Yeah, now what I want you to check is the volumes over here. They increase up here and then they decrease here because we're going to the 4th wave, and they are still low. So those who come in and call it this is a wave 3, I don't think they know what they're talking about. Okay, they don't. This can be a wave 1, which means we can expect a correction and then a continuation to the upside for 3, 4, and 5. But if we do correct and we don't see volumes increasing down here, guys, it's very likely that it's going to drop. Okay, so now in the last video I talked about how, well, for some was good that we have done a fresh high, for others are not. For those who understand a bit more about the markets, is not that good. Why? Because it means that this 5th wave is now finished now. Okay, so that's one of the scenarios, and because the volumes are very low, you do not know if you can expect an impulse to continue. So it's either 5 is going to be up here and it's going to be extended, right? And that's going to be also the 5th, by the way. And we're going to get something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's going to be in the immediate degree, right? If that happened, obviously a few targets for the wave 5 anyway would be, if we assume 4 is done, 93.17 and 190. And we need to check if there is any confluence. If we assume our high is in again and we're going to go down in correction, 92, 93 is a level, strong level. Then you go to 113, 130, 156, 190. but keep in mind that 92, okay, is a strong level. I repeat, 93. Now, if we finished here, as I said before, then you know what happens next. I will tell you something. According to Elliott waves, usually when we finish 5, we go down in wave 2, in wave 4, sorry. This is around $3,500. But I'm not saying we'll go there. I don't actually think we'll ever gonna go below 14K ever again. I don't think we're gonna go there ever again, I repeat. But while we are here analyzing the potential scenarios, it has to be mentioned that, usually we do wave 4. Now, if wave 5 is extended, obviously it would be harder to get lower. If we extend to 200, for example, a 50% correction is going to be down to 100, right? So you're still going to be higher than that. Even if it's 80 correction, then a different case. But if we get a 50% drop from here, we'll go down to 33. And then another 50 from there will go down to around 15, 16. So it's exactly pretty much above that level. Sometimes if we are accelerating, well, we remain above 3, which is over here. It's the 19, 20K or so. The other case is also wave 1, which is again the one I spoke about just now, 14K, because this is what maintains the structure impulsive. Now, with this scenario being done, which means either we finished 5 or we're going to get 5, okay, and then we're going to go closer, don't worry. I want to bring on the scenario that I'm more leaning towards, and I'm leaning towards that one because we do not see the volumes yet, okay? We still don't see the volumes. So the fact that I'm using volumes to label accounts and also the scenarios, give probabilities, is probably a different case to anybody else, okay? But I trust what volumes tell me, because without volumes, price don't move. As simple as that. Many think that price is more important than volumes, but volumes move price. Well, in our case, though, for crypto, if we take a few of the exchanges and what they do, no volumes move price. So yeah, maybe I should be careful about what I'm saying here. But anyway, the other one is, guys, that we're going to get another wave down for wave 4. Okay, that also is going to get us a bit more in confluence with the, hold on, with the correction in wave 2, because the correction in wave 2 lasted 259 days. The correction in 4, 70 days. 70 versus what, 290? 4 times smaller. It's possible, but how would you feel about getting something around similar? And with similar, what about the volumes? The volumes, you can set the volumes here. That's a good indicator anyway. Well, it's possible, and not only it's possible, but we would also come and potentially do a rejection down at the base channel of the cycle degree. So how can this happen? It can happen different ways. Last week we talked about most of them. Now imagine this is your 3 and your 4 would be W, X, and Y. Oh, excuse me, I grabbed the triple zigzag. It will be W, X, and Y. Okay, and this W, X, and Y, primary, so we'll go intermediate. This means that we have a flat over here, ABC, because you've got a clear 5 wave leg to the downside, an ABC and an ABC over here. That was my preferred count, even initially when, even when we were down at 46 over here, that was my initial count, and then I changed it for this thing here. But anyway, now what else would be the case over here is that would be an A, B, and a C. And the C either finished or it might end if we get another leg to the upside, finally. Okay, so and from there you can expect an ABC or any other flat, any other corrective pattern. It can be an ABC, it can be another flat, it can be a triangle, it can be pretty much anything. Okay. Now the other scenario is, and we're not going to have a lot of sort of options over here, that this would be an ABC, and it is a very rare thing to see, and that would be an ending a flat pattern actually, right? A flat means that you got an ABC, ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this wave down here, if it would be a scenario that is going to come in at some point, it would be a 5-wave move to the downside, not a combination, not a flat, not a triangle, anything. 5-wave leg to the downside. That means this is a flat, that its A wave is an expanded flat, it has a zigzag in B, and it has to have a 5-wave move to the downside. Okay. Now, regardless of what's going on over here, guys, okay, regardless, and let's just take this off for now. Let me just go and place this over here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. And let me just go with the scenario that we are bullish, or we're bullish. As I said before, very high risk that the cycle ended over here until we break the previous high and confirm this is high risk. So what do we see here? A flat in 2, up in 3, increasing volumes only in the first wave, which is still a bit silly, you know, if you ask me. And then you got, well, these volumes are looking okay-ish, but then decline again, okay? So currently, and to me, it looks like we are indeed in a correction rather than, you know, this wave finished, okay? This is what it is. So let me just put it over here because we can look at 5 and we're going to get to 2 and continue higher, or 5 and we're going to go and start moving lower down, okay? Which means, you know, that is probably not a 5, it's like an ABC, or, you know, it could be even, that would be something like, actually, yeah, these ABC would work best. Now, why do I think that is not done here? Because this is not looking impulsive. This is what is looking impulsive. This is what is looking impulsive. This is not looking impulsive. This is not looking impulsive. So to me, guys, it looks like we are in a correction and we're going to get another leg up. Where can we go up to? We'll go to 3 and to 4 and take 73. This is the 100 Fibonacci extension of the waves 0 through 4, 3 and 4. And it's the same level for the potential A, B, and C as well, 73K. Okay, but then we got to see if there is any confluence. So we're going to go from 1 to 3 again, all the way to the top, and assume the wave 4 finished here. Assume for now. Then we'll go to 70, 71, 73 again is there, 80, 87, 86, etc. But if we assume that we haven't ended here because perhaps wave 4 is not done here, then we also go to 82. The first level, though, to take into account will be again the 73. Okay. Now another thing we can do to sort of estimate where we can go, it's use wave 1. Okay, and wave 1, if we use wave 1, obviously you know that it's already done because the dip has done the job for us. The other thing to do is use wave 4 and put it all the way up on top of wave 5. And I want you to see that where we go is just above the 73 again, 75.80. Okay, that will be equal with this wave 4. Now, have we finished wave 4? I don't think we have, guys. That looks like an ABC from here and another ABC from here. But if we go closer, I'm going to take you down to the 1 hour now. I will tell you what I'm thinking. And let me just go maybe over here because we can go on the hourly here. Maybe I actually have the chart over here already. Let's have a quick look. So this is where I'm looking, okay? And I'll be honest, they're very ugly, these patterns, guys. These structures are very, very, very ugly. So clear 5-wave move to the downside, A, yeah? This is a flat, as we had seen, well, one of the potential scenarios to, for the bottom to from 65 to 29. This looks like an ABC again. And that might, I'm saying might be an ending diagonal, but very ugly one, okay? This scenario would mean that this is my wave B is a flat, okay? It is going to be an expanded variation that has wave A as an expanded flat, okay? And my wave C of B over here is going to be a very ugly ending diagonal, okay? Now, of course, this is one of the scenarios I repeat. The other one would be that we've got 1, and we've got 2, and we've got 3, and we've got 4, and we've got 5. And this is a leading diagonal. And leading diagonal can be in wave 1 or in wave A. Okay, which means weird looking correction. Okay, and it cannot be a triangle, obviously, because we are in wave 2. But it can be a triangle only if we're in wave B. So if this is A, then this can be a very weird looking triangle, okay? You can switch that to a WXYXZ if you want, but either way, that's what I'm looking. So 2 scenarios, leading diagonal to the downside or ending diagonal to the, with 1 or A, okay, which seems more downside anyway, or ABC, we still expect wave C, B to finish, and then we expect for C. Now, the other scenario is that wave 4 finished down here, because I'm looking at this as 3 and 4, if you remember, and we're expecting for 5, okay? Regardless of whether this is ABC or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, regardless, it's still the same count up here. So if that was the case indeed, sorry, my 4 should be here. If that was the case indeed, okay, and wave 4 ended down here, then that means that this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're going to get a 5. And it's going to be a leading diagonal, which again is looking very weird. Okay, very, very, very weird. That would be one of the scenarios. But the one I'm looking more leaning towards for the upside as well is that this is a flat. So I've got wave 1 here, and this is wave 2. So this is a flat, which means it's either A or W. This is B or X, and this is, well, either finished as an ABC, which means it's a running flat, and we'll continue higher from here, because this is going to be 1 and 2, and then we'll get 3, 4, and 5. Or if it's not an X, if it's not an ABC and it's going to be W, X, and Y, it means that Y is going to finish down here. That's going to be A, B, and C. Okay, so these are the 2 scenarios I'm looking at. In either way, I am looking at the 5951 to invalidate this sort of weird structure, because we cannot really have an open leading diagonal, okay, or an open ending diagonal. So the moment, if we do go below 5950, there is no leading diagonal, there is no ending diagonal, okay? So that's one of the levels I'll be looking. Now, in case we do see that moving lower down, it means that my B is not an ABC, it's a W, X, and Y instead. Okay, so that is going to be a W, that is going to be an X, and that is going to be a Y. And then we move lower from where we are over here. But the truth is, guys, that this is impulsive, this is corrective, but it can also be seen as an impulse. Yeah, because within this is 1 hour to the upside, there's many hours rolling down. So it's a situation where the markets currently are very mixed, and this is the reality. So now I'm going to leave BTC. I'm going to go quickly on XRP. XRP is also looking a bit weird, but let me just remind you what my count is over here in the longer term, okay? I'm looking at wave 1 being done up here in the primary decree. This is my wave 2, and I'm looking for continuation to the upside. Wave intermediate 1 and 2 finish in the initial, in the original first sort of scenario that we're seeing playing out here. Now, I want you to see this. We corrected down here with an ABC, and over here we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which means our wave 1 finished. Okay, over here we'll have an ABC and an ABC. So this is a double zigzag pattern because we just seen a zigzags around the place, which means we can call this a wave 2. Now, these move to the upside from down here. Okay, it really does not look impulsive. Okay, which means there is no interaction. Because there is interaction here, we cannot just assume we're going to see progress, right? When there is interaction, we cannot assume progress unless if it is a leading diagonal. So leading diagonal is of two types. Five waves, three waves, 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves, these two interact. Or the other way is that it's like an ending diagonal. Okay, so you got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Over here, I'm looking at the 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 scenario. Okay, this is 1 and 2. This is 3, and I think this is the 4th one, and we're going to get 5. Now, the reality is this. As long as we are above 115.52, this cannot be considered a diagonal, which means, whether I like it or not, this is a leading diagonal here, very weird looking one, an ABC over here that looks again a bit more weird, or W, X, and Y, and that is still my wave 2, and that is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's going to be 1 and 2. Then we're going to see 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to be way more impulsive to what we're thinking, okay? But the structure does not make sense. So, you know, I have to be unbiased. I want Ripple to go up, but I'm here to analyze the markets and show you what I'm seeing, okay? Now, what else I'm seeing over here is I'm looking at the fact that we have done a fresh high above over here. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that as long as we are below that level as well, the 123, so we're in a very tight range that is going to give us a signal very, very soon. As long as we're below that, we can still be in a flat pattern, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is very possible, either for expanding or running flat variation. Okay, so this is the worrying sort of alternative, let's say. For now, if we assume wave 1 and 2 is done, are done, we should really be heading, to a wave 3 of 170, right? At least, I would say. Okay, at least. And the reality is also this. If we now ignore the minor and we go and we have a look into the well, I would say we'll have a look at the internal structure over here, which is the leading diagonal. Then what we're going to see, guys, is we're going to see that, assuming, of course, we're going to go down to around 113 or so, which is the level I think we're going to get to, assuming, taking it, so there are some Fibonacci relationships, you see. Got 61.8 here, and then if you go from 1 to 2 over here as well, around 61.8 as well is here. So around 113, if we get there, then we should be looking for, and this is for wave 3 after that, right? We should be looking at 176 for this internal leg, right? So don't forget there is a degree missing here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, yeah? Assuming this is a leading diagonal, of course. And that will be the leading diagonal. Okay, so I want to see, not I want to see specifically, but I would prefer to see, because this is looking corrective. Otherwise, it's corrective and it's going to go down rather than up. So leading diagonal, corrective, and we'll move up. No leading diagonal, because it is corrective, most likely we'll move lower. So I want to see that breaking. We'll have an interaction between this and this wave, and I want to see that but let's just say around that 113 or so holding. Doesn't necessarily need to hold, but if we break below 110, which is the wave one of this structure, then this is going to be very likely invalidated to the upside, and most probably we're going to have an ABC over here, running flat or expanding flat. So we can even expect our wave two to be below the 0.95. Now I gave you a few levels that look internal structures. Okay, what I want to do now is give you the external structure a bit. Okay, and you see that we are done here. My wave two is done, and I'm looking at least at 237, which is the 100%, but we always want to see extended 3. So 446, potential left of 5 at 660 or even 976 and 1242 if it's going to be extended version. Okay, I know you probably hear these numbers here first time, but these are the levels that the Fibonacci tell me. Don't forget, we also have a primary degree. Okay, now obviously this is not assuming market cap or anything else. We're just purely talking about Fibonacci numbers over here. We're not taking into account anything else. So for Ripple, this is it. So what I want to see, a small correction and continuation up to complete this leading diagonal. And after we complete the fifth wave of the diagonal, also expect another drop. 38.2, 50, 61, 78, they're all possible. But the shorter the pullback, the more expressive the upside impulse is going to be. Okay, very good. Now let's go on Luna. I was supposed to see Luna first, but guys, I looked a little bit at this structure again, and since last week, of course, we can look at this different ways, and I will show again the previous scenarios. But I'm looking at this with this fresh low over here. I tend to think that the duration of wave 2 and wave 4, they match together if we do have a weird looking triangle over here, which is an ascending variation of a triangle, by the way. Now, regardless of whether it is a triangle or not, in case we break 46, which is exactly where we came now and moved back higher, in case we break 46, then the situation is going to get a bit weird. I will tell you why. Let me finish this first. So you got 1 and 2, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 over here for wave 3. My 4 is A, B, C, D, E. Okay, a triangle, I repeat. And I'm going to do it right now so that you see it. And yes, wavy is outside, but it's okay. It's just an overthrow. Actually, it's always expected. When it's expected, it's even causing more upside. Now, if we assume this is wave 4, don't forget that one of the targets is always the measured move. So where did we break? We broke around that level. So what can we get up to? Not necessarily there and stop, but I'm saying one of the levels is 68. We might get a double measured move, which means from 48, let's say, to 60, that's 20, we might go up to 88, 90. Okay. The other way to use this is to, of course, go and do the Fibo 3 through 4, and my 4 is here, of course. 38 looks at 96, 61.8 looks at 171, 100 of this leg looks at 535. Now, that really depends on how much extended wave 5 is going to be, okay? This is exactly what I'm saying. Now, though, the other scenarios, again, might be equal to wave 1. So if that would be the case, then you know that from 4 is already done. So it's not the case. Now, let me go a little bit closer and tell you if we do have a triangle here, what is going to happen and why 46 is an important level. Okay, it's a very important level. That's why we see this correction over here now and a bounce. Because in case we do break below 46, this is not considered as an impulse. For now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to tell you a similar thing with Bitcoin as well. It's either that we're going to finish 5 up here, or that's going to be part of a larger degree 5, okay, which is what most of you want, and it might even be extended. So minute, and there we go. So it's one or the other, okay. This assumes 46 holds. I will repeat that. If 46 does not hold, the next level to look would be down at 41, because even if 41 holds, that means that this can be an ending diagonal, okay. And if that would be an ending diagonal, I mean, we can go down to 44 or whatever. It can even be an open diagonal, but we can just not break below 41 because it would invalidate the diagonal. Okay, so it can still be diagonal. And that, again, in both scenarios, either 5 finished here, so we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're going to crash, or in the scenario where this is just the 1, so we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that's going to be a leading diagonal. Instead, you're going to get 2, 3, 4, and 5 and continue higher. Now, if that's going to be a leading diagonal, this is going to be very good because leading diagonals are always followed by, always trigger very impulsive 3 waves. Okay. Now, what if one asks, we come and break the 41? Well, no leading diagonal, no ending diagonal. So what this can mean? Let me tell you to the other scenario now. Let me delete this as well. This can mean, guys, that the upside move up here, okay, the first high, which actually we did all-time high, it's part of a, yes, I'm going to say it, it's part of a flat, okay. In this case, let me quickly just do that so you can understand. In this case, guys, the 4 is going to extend. Yeah. Well, this is going to be my 3 up here probably. Okay. And internally here, you've got the minute wave to take into account. Although I do like to see this as an ABC, but anyway, most likely case that is going to be A, B, and C. And it might be extended variation or running flat variation, which means this is going to be minute, and that's it. It's going to be something like that. And that's because we do have an A, B, C, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me show you here this triangle. Okay, so there we go. This is the one I'm talking about. Yeah. So we've got A, B, C, A, B, and C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that is if that breaks, C ended here. Okay. If it didn't break, it can go up higher. It can go up to, well, it can literally go up to 61, but 54 will be one level to consider. Now, if we do move higher and we finish at 50.33, then we do know, or below, we do know that's going to be a regular flat. So if we do something like this, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and wave 4 is going to end around 45. But if we cross above it and then we fall in a 5-wave impulse, we're going to go down to around 40, 37, or if it's extended, we might go down to 28 or even lower. Okay, and these are also the scenarios that I'm looking for Luna. So some of them are a bit more bullish, some of them are a bit more bearish, but I want to stick with one that gives me a matching correction in waves 2 and 4, which is this one, and I will be waiting to see what's going to happen around 46 in case we do start backing off from the all-time high. So guys, that's going to be all for this week. I do hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry again, it's long. I'm going to do the timestamps, and don't forget, it's educational. It's not investment advice. You always are required to do or advised if you want, your own research. And don't forget, in case you want more of this on a daily basis, contact me and I will add you on my Telegram channel. Thanks for the patience, and leave your comments in case you have questions or an alternative scenario to suggest. You might be working on your own account, so I'm happy to see what you got there for me. Sometimes we get blinded, especially if we're all day in the charts. So take care, guys, and trade safe.